Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ethiopia, land of origins. Those words were printed on the side of the airplane as I flew back to Sharjah after spending precious, fragile moments in South Africa with my parents during a time of illness. Now, at 30,000 feet, somewhere between departure and return, one word stayed with me: migration. We call it Hijrah. And that's when I noticed the slogan again: Ethiopia, land of origins. And this time it stopped me. Because long before airlines, long before borders and passports, this land already held a sacred place in our history. Ethiopia, known then as Abyssinia, was the destination of the first Hijrah of the Muslims, not to Medina, before that. Men and women left Mecca with nothing but faith, not chasing power, comfort, or status, but simply seeking safety to worship. And in that moment, I also found myself asking, if I had to leave everything behind, what would I carry with me? And where would I place my trust? They found protection not among their own people, not among fellow Muslims, but under a Christian king, the Negus, a ruler remembered for justice. When the Quran was recited to him, he listened. When truth was spoken, he recognized it. And when pressure came to hand the Muslims over, he refused. He said, in essence, in my land, no one is oppressed. Now that's powerful. Ethiopia wasn't just a refuge, it became a moral landmark in Islamic history, a reminder that faith and justice can meet across beliefs, that integrity is recognized wherever it exists, and that Allah opens doors through means we may never anticipate. So let me ask you, how many of us actually are aware that the first Hijrah was to Abyssinia? How often do we pause to reflect on this chapter of our rich and layered history? And do we remember the companion of the Prophet ﷺ who came from Abyssinia, a man not remembered for status or lineage, but for resilience, faith under persecution, and for being the first voice to call the adhan in Islam? Now ask yourself even something deeper. What do we take from our history? Just information, or the values it was meant to shape within us? Because sometimes Hijrah is less about where we go and more about who we become along the way. And sometimes faith is preserved not through force or familiarity, but through justice, integrity, and moral courage in our choices, our actions, and our everyday lives. And I ask Allah for ease and healing for parents, loved ones, and all who are unwell. This story reminds me, and perhaps reminds us, that mercy, dignity, and goodness often appear where we least expect them.